Ready to go. Hello and welcome to the very second episode of the Boost VC podcast. Together in conversation with our incredible guests, we'll dig into the latest topics around venture capital, startups, and emerging technologies. I'm your host, Adam Draper, founder and managing director of Boost VC and fourth generation venture capitalist. Today we're joined by Baptiste Greve.
Greve.
I have never actually tried to pronounce your last name. It was
true.
Okay. Founder of our own portfolio company, Unimersiv, the largest platform to learn in virtual reality. So Baptiste is a French entrepreneur who has worked as a designer, engineer, and project manager for several startups. He's the founder and CEO of Unimersiv, the platform for VR educational experiences. And he was part of Boost VC's tribe last summer. Actually, we were just talking about how literally a year ago today, he was getting on a plane to come out to Boost VC Tribe 6. He's currently based in Paris. During his free time, he enjoys playing FIFA, spending some quality time with his friends and family, and he's spending a lot more time on the Oculus Rift these days. So welcome, Baptiste.
Thank you, Adam. Very happy to talk with you.
Yeah, it's great to have you and see you. We actually haven't chatted in a little while, so this will be a good catch-up session for me and you as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we're gonna start, very simple and get really, really difficult. Obviously, we're gonna talk about VR education, what it's like to be in VR in Europe, that type of thing. So first, what is your VR story? What got you into virtual reality?
Well, so the first time that I heard about Oculus, I think it was when they got bought by Facebook, for $2 billion. So there was a TV documentary about this very young company doing something really weird that was bought by Facebook for a lot of dollars. And so, I got interested, but when I really got interested in when the DK2 got out, and then people started to play with the DK2, and you were able to find some videos on YouTube about people playing the Oculus Rift. And then when I saw that the DK1, it didn't look like really serious.
And for our listeners out there, the DK1 versus DK2, it means Dev Kit 1 and Dev Kit 2.
Exactly.
For developers to be able to use the headsets, right? Wanted to define that.
Yeah, sure. No, it's good. So, basically, so the Dev Kit 1, it was kind of like a big box on your face. It didn't look really serious, but the development kit number 2 looked like a real product that people were actually having a lot of fun with. So, it was in December 2014. So it got out, I think it was in July or August 2014, and I bought it in December. And so when I received it, I tried a lot of things, and one of the experiences that I most enjoyed was named Titans of Space. So it's still today, it's one of the most famous experience for VR. And basically, so you're traveling through planets to planets and learning about the solar system. And when I tried that, I immediately thought that VR should not only be used for gaming, but that it could have incredible opportunities for education. So I decided to create this platform for VR educational experiences, and so that's how I got into it.
And in Titans in Space, so I actually haven't done Titans in Space, and so do they include Pluto as one of the planets?
I can't remember. I'm not sure.
I was just wondering. I was just wondering.
Question. That's a good question.
Someone out there probably knows the answer to that. So
exactly.
Okay, so on that point of virtual reality experiences, what is your favorite experience?
Well, so when I received the CV1 a few months ago, it really changed everything. The CV1 is really the resolution and the sharpness of the screen. It's an incredible device. And so I spent a lot of time playing the CV1 compared to the DK2, and I think one of the experience in which I spend a lot of time is Edge of Nowhere. So it's a game in which you're in the Antarctica, it's a third point. You're playing third player, and you're in the Antarctica, fighting monsters and trying to find your girlfriend. I'm sure you heard about this one. And so this game is like maybe a 5 or 6 hour story, and like I played for like 45 minutes session. I never did that with the DK2, but with the CV one, like you can play 45 minutes or 1 hour in a row, and you're not having any motion sickness or things like that. So I'd say Edge of Nowhere.
That's 45 minutes in virtual reality. So my longest was about 45 minutes as well, in a game called Space Pirates, but the one that my team is really obsessed with is Longbow, which is a tower defense game on the Vive right now, where there's actually a scoreboard up on one of the whiteboards where Brayton Williams, my co-founder, is listed as the highest score right now. I haven't spent as much time in it yet, so I'm going to say Brayton has spent more time, thus his score is higher. Okay, so you sort of answered why actually you decided to focus on why education specifically? I think that's more my question. Why are you excited about sort of exploring education in virtual reality, and why education?
Yeah, sure. So I mean, I think that when you start a project, like it's really important to have like a why. Like why do you want to do this? Why do you want to work on this subject? And I wanted to work in VR, and like building games for the Oculus Rift back in the days was like the easy solution, but I didn't wanted to like spend months or years like building this project, or I didn't know it would be that big like as it is today back in the days. But I wanted to like build something that could have some meaning, and I realized that if I could actually help people learn faster using virtual reality, I could spend like years doing that. So I think that's really the reason why I decided to work on education and not only gaming. It's because I just wanted to be like useful for humans, I would say.
So speaking of this becoming a big thing, how big is it now today? So like do you have users? How's the product? In virtual reality, the market's still reasonably small. What is sort of success right now?
Yeah, so basically, the market is already bigger than we thought. So Oculus announced a few weeks ago that they have like 1 million people using the Gear VR monthly. So it's already like a big market. The Gear VR, like 1 year ago, it was only tens of thousands of people that had it, and now it's 1 million people using it. So it's already a big market. And with Unimersiv, so for now, Unimersiv is available only on the Gear VR. So it's you download the Unimersiv app, and then you have access to multiple educational experiences. And I can't say exactly how many users we have because, Oculus wants us to be like really. They don't want us to share like the real numbers, but I'd say that I have tens of thousands of users using the Unimersiv app and using our educational experiences to learn something new in VR. So it's way bigger than it was 1 year ago when I joined Boosted.
Wow, that's exciting. I mean, there were only, a year ago, there were only 10,000 like Samsung Gears being used. And so now you have 10,000 users using your product on the Samsung Gear. So progress.
Yeah, big progress.
Yeah, huge progress. What is the business model in virtual reality? What does that look like? And you don't even need to talk specifically about Unimersiv. What does it look like for anyone?
Yeah, sure. So what we see today is that so basically on the Gear, you have the Oculus Store, which is kind of like the app store for the Apple phones. And so you have free apps and paid apps, and from now, like people making money with their apps, it's mostly like game developers selling their apps for like $1, $2, $4. There is not really this freemium thing that we have now with the App Store, like with applications with games like Clash of Clans or even Pokemon Go today. But like we are getting there because a few months ago, Oculus released their in-app system. So now we can actually allow people in our app to purchase in-apps, to generate revenue even with a free app. So I think today it's really like paid apps versus free apps. But I think that in the longer term, most of the apps will be free, and they will all have the freemium model like we see most of the time with Apple apps right now. But yeah, for now, it's mostly like people making games, people making money selling games.
Yeah, and how do you think that's going to change? Is it just going to change over the course of time? Are we going to have freemium? Are we going to have something that, freemium didn't really exist until the mobile phone? Are we going to have something that we can't even think of yet? Like pay for time in the app or something?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, so for now, our model is freemium. So we are one of the first app to so the Unimersiv app is free. There is a lot of content in the app that is free, but we shared this week our first paid experience inside the Unimersiv app. So what we choose is to keep the app free and share some premium experiences for a few dollars. But yeah, so I think that we might see like some really new things. So for example, there is this app that is named Within, that shared, I think it was last week, they like make a new, so they're sharing like 360 videos, but this is like high quality 360 videos, it's almost 3D. And so what they did is that for the first time, they like made a new 360 videos that they were creating. They made it available for only 1 hour. So like people that wanted to try this experience were only able to access this during like, I think it was maybe like between 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. or something like that. And then at 10 a.m., Mr. Robot disappeared from their app. So we might see something like you said, where like you pay to access a certain content for like 1 hour, and then 1 hour after you don't have it. So we might see something like that, because this experience like was really successful. Like their servers crashed because they had like so many people that connected at the same time in their app to try the Mr. Robot experience. So yeah, we might see some new interesting like revenue model and stuff.
Yeah, no, that's super interesting. One of the things I did want to talk about, you are French, so that is what your accent is. I want to know, in Europe right now, what is the virtual reality scene? What's it like being a startup doing virtual reality in France?
It's saying that, so when I joined Boost VC last year, it was like there was like no startups doing virtual reality. Like you had like Belula in Tribe 62, and I think that we were like maybe 2 of the like maybe 10 companies that were working in VR back in France. So like the thing is that right now we have like more companies working in VR. We see like if you go to like startup events, you will see like a lot of companies using virtual reality to maybe share products or like share videos of their their like hotel or something like that. But so there is like most of the companies that I met that actually work in VR, they're like agencies, so people that actually record 360 videos for clients, or people that build 360 3D experience, 3D VR experiences for big companies that want to do this. But there is not like that many startups that want to build like a scalable VR company. So they're like great developers building games, but it's not. I see that the VR startup ecosystem in France is really small compared to what it is in the US, and you can really see that if you read the press. So like today in the US, I feel like every day you have like one of the big blogs that will talk about like virtual reality. Like Forbes, like TechCrunch, like all of the big press entities talk about VR every day. Oh, that's what I see actually. And in France, like you don't read a lot of articles about VR. Like some of the tech blog will talk about it, but it's really not that big as it is in the US right now. Maybe we will get there, but yeah, for now it's really it's not as big as I wish it could be.
And for all our very enthusiastic listeners out there, how would I get to be able to use your product right now? So I would have to have the Samsung Gear, and I would have to download the app, and then what type of content are you like sort of pushing on people right now? Like how many experiences are there, that sort of thing?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, as you say, like for now, the experience is available only on the Gear VR. We are working with HTC to also share it on the Vive, and we also are going to share it on the Oculus Rift. But for now, it's only on the Gear VR. So you actually need to add the headset and to add the phone. But so yeah, the Unimersiv app is free. You can download it from the Oculus Store. Once you get the app, there is 4 full educational experiences. So one of them will let you travel to the International Space Station and learn about it. There is another experience that can let you learn about the human body. So you can like look at all the muscles inside the human body and see how they're used. You can look at all of the bones of the human skeleton to learn like their name and how we are using them. Same thing for like the cardiovascular system, the nervous system. There is a third experience that can let you travel back to Stonehenge, which is a prehistorical monument in England. So you can see how the monument was 5,000 years ago when it was built. You can see how it is now. So you can actually walk around it and like really see how it was back in the days. And we just shared our first premium experience, which let our users travel back to the Titanic as it was before the sinking. So you can walk on the Titanic, visit some interior rooms, and learn everything very similar about the Titanic. And it's pretty incredible. Like we've all seen the movie, and it's actually really fun to like be on the Titanic. Like you can really like walk around and like visit some rooms. So yeah, I think that this is really for now one of our best experience. I know we are working with I'm working with like developers and contractors to share two new experience. So there is an experience that will explain you World War II. So you will be like in war, watching some war scenes and like see how Europe and the entire world evolved during World War II. And then we're also working on our 6th experience, which will let you visit the Acropolis in Greece as it was like thousands of years ago. So yeah, the goal is to have 10 to 15 educational experiences available by the end of the year, and they all work the same way. It's kind of like VR documentaries, that you can like watch around.
Are they all similar length and structure?
Yeah, kind of like they all have which we call the guided tour. So there is a voiceover explaining you like if you're using the Stonehenge experience, for example, if you're looking at like a precise rock, there is a voiceover that will explain to you how big was this rock, how it was actually brought there. If you're in the Titanic, like according to the place you're in the Titanic, you will also have a voiceover that will tell you everything very similar about this precise place you're at. So yeah, it's always the same. We are always using the same pattern. So a voiceover with like a guided tour so that the users can like watch the documentary and learn a lot of things without having to have to do like too many things.
Great. So we are moving on to the lightning round of this incredible radio show that we've created, podcast. And so I have a couple questions that I'm just going to ask you in rapid succession, and you have to answer them.
Okay.
Sound good? Okay. I'm going to start easy, and then they'll get progressively way more difficult. What's your favorite color?
Blue.
What do you think that you do better than 99% of people?
Well, maybe I'd say perseverance. Like, yeah, okay. That's something. Yeah, I'd say that maybe.
That's a good one. That's a good one. For entrepreneurs everywhere, that's a good one. It's just sort of like you will exist and win. Yeah.
You say that on the first day at Boost, like just don't die.
I do. Don't die. Be the cockroach.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Someone you look up to and why?
That's an hard one. Maybe I'd say, well, I like Mark Zuckerberg. It's kind of classic answer, but I think like he really like is always adapting himself. Like he could have like keep a social network, but instead like he's building planes to bring internet to Africa. He bought Oculus when he saw that VR was going to be pretty big. So I think he's one of the best entrepreneurs that we have today.
Do you have a personal motto, and what is it?
Yeah, like kind of like perseverance. I say like just don't give up. You know, like if you stay alive like long enough, you will always like find the solution that will keep you out of trouble. Or
Would you rather be without knees or elbows?
I'd say knees.
And why?
Because I could keep on like coding if I have elbows, right?
That's a good answer. Would you rather use eye drops made of vinegar or toilet paper made of sandpaper?
Eye drops?
And why?
I don't know.
Okay. What's the most defining moment in your life, or a memory that makes you feel like that's very defining of your life?
Well, so I'm not saying that because you're from Boost, but basically, so when you told me that I was accepted in Boost, like we were like July 20th, and you told me like you have to tell me yes by the end of the week, and then you have to be in San Mateo like on August 1st. And I had a job back in those days, you know, so like our university was only a side project, and I had like a lot of users, but I still had my job and my girlfriend, and we were like living together in Paris. And so like, what I'm gonna do? Like, I just can't say to my boss that I'm gonna like leave the company in 10 days because I have to like go to the US, and how am I going to say that to my girlfriend? So like we talked, and like I spent a night like thinking about it. And then like in the morning I decided like just go, you know, like this is like a crazy opportunity to just go. And I think that it was like certainly one of the best choices that I made in my life.
Well, we are going to end on that note of Boost VC being the best thing that ever existed. And this was the podcast about VR education with Baptiste Greve and Adam Draper, the founder and managing director of Boost VC. So thank you very much. And hey, awesome to talk to you, Baptiste.
Yeah, thank you, Adam. It was really a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Bye.